Meditation has been on everybody's mind for the last few years. There was this huge ramp up about 5 years ago where everybody was about meditation and meditation here, meditation that. I still find like a lot of people are confused about what it is and which one they should pick and how it, mainly for us as entrepreneurs, how does that have an impact on our businesses. So in this episode, I want to show you three and maybe more kind of meditation that you can use in certain situation in order for you to get directly benefits that you can use for your business. If that sounds useful, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and as usual, let's rock! Welcome to episode 109 of Peaceful Productivity Techniques, where I'm here to help you refocus, double your revenue, and perform like a rock star without work overdose. My name is Arnaud. I'm a productivity and focus coach, and I'm pumped to be here today for a normal episode. Last week, I experimented with something and I went live on Facebook. What am I saying? I went live on YouTube. And although I like the creative process of that, it was just a mess following my process after, and I like when processes work the way they should. So I'm glad to be back on a regular episode this week to talk about 3 simple meditation techniques that entrepreneurs can use to boost their focus and business. There's a ton of resources out there regarding meditation. There's a ton of kind of meditations that one can take, and there's also a lot of confusion about it, and sometimes people use the right meditation for the wrong tool, which makes it for the wrong application, which make it the wrong meditation. So today I want to give my take on that. Which meditation do I use? We're going to cover 3 of them, plus maybe a 4th secret one if you stay until the end. And that's pretty awesome. But before we get into all of that, if you want to have 7 great days per week so that you can focus on your business fully, give your whole energy, your whole focus, stay productive, and on the weekend still have enough energy inside so that you can spend time doing what you love, doing your other activities, spending time with your loved one, or just work more, go to peacefulproductivity.coach/7 days. You'll find my free cheat sheet that I've created with love just for you guys to combine several tools that me and my clients use in order to stay focused, fulfilled, and productive 7 days per week. Go to peacefulproductivity.coach/7 days. If you're on YouTube, the link is below. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, first of all, thank you for listening. Please leave me a review. It really helps the show. And the address is peacefulproductivity.coach/7 days. One thing I'm going to try and do today, following my experience of last week live, is just go for it and not edit this video at all. So hopefully it will make for a more honest and real way of communicating with you guys. And if you don't like it, again, let me know in the comment and I'll go back to the editing board. Let's start with the first meditation we're going to talk about today that I call focus meditation, that has several different names. Here's why I call it focus meditation. It's usually the first one people start with on their meditation journey, and it's about focusing on a particular object. An object in that sense is defined by anything that shows up within your awareness. Most people start with breathing because we always have this available for us, except if we are dying, in which case meditation is no longer a priority for us. So focusing our attention on breathing is what I'm going to talk about right now. The advantage of this kind of meditation is it offers a great alternative for a nap or a walk outside in order to refresh your mind and come back to what you wanted to focus on. It trains your concentration in general, which makes it easier to work in less than ideal conditions because you manage to be more focused and concentrated all the time. And it's very easy to do. You don't need anything no guided notes, no phone, no candle to look at, no meditation room. You can do that basically anywhere, anytime. So the way you do it, and maybe this is obvious, and if it is, well, skip a few seconds ahead. And if it's not obvious, or if you want to review the basic, is you just pick an object, in that case, the breath, and you just focus on it. And every time your mind goes somewhere else, you just gently let it go and you come back to your object of focus. And that's it. And you just keep doing that. I recommend doing that at least 5 minutes. For me, the best time to do it is between 15 and 20 minutes. And when I do it more, 30 minutes or more, it goes into a different category that I'll be talking about later in this video. If you are just starting with meditation, you want more focus, you want to be able to come back to the task at hand easily, start with 1 minute, move your way up to 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And let's do a quick demo real fast. So I'm relaxing my body. I'm making sure if I have some extra tension on me, on my body, that I get rid of them or let them go. And then I just watch my breathing. I can breathe through the mouth or through the nose. It doesn't really matter. And when a thought comes to my mind, like, oh, people are going to click away if you meditate while recording a YouTube video, I just gently let that thought pass. And I come back to breathing. And if something else shows up, for example, a tension in my belly appearing, I just gently let it be, and I come back to the breathing. Some people focus on the breathing on the nose, some people on this part of the body, some people on the abdomen. It doesn't really matter. You just always come back to it. And that's it. Focus meditation. You just come back to your breathing over and over again. Recap. This one is good because you can do it anywhere, anytime. It helps you increase your focus. If you've never done it before, start with 1 minute. Make up your way to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a good milestone. What I like to do is I have a timer which times 3 times 5 minutes. And ideally I want to make 15 minutes, but if something comes up, I can just pause at 5 or at 10. And if you manage to go over 20 minutes into the 30-minute territory, then we go to the second meditation I'm going to talk about right now. The second meditation has many names as well. I'll just call it mindfulness. And it's about using the focus that you've developed in the first meditation to be more aware of everything that's going on within your field of experience. So, again, using the first one as an example for the second one. As you are breathing naturally, not controlling your breath, and just observing it, other objects are showing up in your life in this moment. That can be the sound of the computer. I'm just saying out loud what's going on in my world right now. The sound of the computer. A thought coming through my mind. The sound of my guitar amp, which is next to me. A feeling in my leg that makes me want to scratch it. All those elements, all those objects just continually appear and disappear out of your field of awareness. And in mindfulness meditation, you just focus on all of that. In the first one, you were just coming back to the breath. In this one, you kind of accept everything. And accept is an important word here because that's really what you do. the first one is very effortful. The second one, mindfulness meditation, you progressively let go of efforts and you just accept that this is what's going on. And when a new object pops up, you look at it, it appears, it disappears, and then you focus on the next object coming. Advantage of this meditation are very relaxing after a while because it takes some practice, but very relaxing because it helps you to accept what's going on in your life. So then as an entrepreneur, when something doesn't go your way, it helps to differentiate, okay, this part I could control, but this part I really couldn't control. So instead of being sad or frustrated about that, I'll just going to accept this part and focus on what I can control to make it better next time. So mindfulness meditation helps you accept the parts that you cannot control. Example, the client said yes, the contract is signed, and the day before the client was supposed to send the money, his mother died, or, huge hurricane in his area, is postponing the deal 6 months from now. Completely out of your control. So what are you going to do? Are you going to beat yourself up because you should have closed the deal earlier, you should have pushed further so that he pays right on the sales calls or what? No, you did your best, and focusing on what you cannot control will just bring you unhappiness. Mindfulness meditation helps you with that because you really learn to accept everything that's going on. And that's the second one. Let me check my notes real quick. There is a danger, yes, there are danger and difficulty in this particular mindfulness meditation. That's when you want to push it to the next level, still within mindfulness meditation. And Sam Harris talks about it all the time in his app, Waking Up, which I highly recommend, by the way. Once you observe the objects that are coming through your field of awareness all the time, you realize that there is not really a center. There's not really an observer, right? The feeling of observing is also an object. And it's kind of weird and difficult to describe. So again, if you want to know more about that, check Waking Up by Sam Harris. Not a referral link, by the way. But what I found difficult and dangerous with that is twofold. First of all, it kind of takes a little bit away the benefit for me when I focus on this part. If I want more focus, I do the first meditation. Focus meditation, easy, it works every time. If I want to relax, I do mindfulness meditation and I focus on all the objects one after the other, letting go of progress. But this other phase of the mindfulness meditation where you really focus on, being not here and having no center, I hear it helps some people, but me, it confuses me and it doesn't really help me relax, or I cannot really take a full benefit in my life, if that makes sense. So that's the first part. And the second part that I don't like about this level of mindfulness is that I tend to detach myself. And what I want to be in my life is present. And when there is no longer any center, for some reason it creates some detachments. I feel like I'm less present, paradoxically. I'm sure with more practice, you get to a point where you're literally one with everything because there's no center. But for me, in that middle level of, in the intermediate level I am at, it causes a problem. So I wanted to mention that here because I don't hear people talk about that much, and I cannot be the only one to have this kind of experience. Summary of the mindfulness meditation. You use the focus of the first meditation to look at all the objects that are going through your life at all time. You just see them appearing, being, and disappearing. And then you move on to the next object. An object can be a sound, a feeling, a thought, an emotion. Those all can be objects. third meditation that I want to talk about is different from 1 and 2. The third one, in 1 and 2, we are basically observing what's already going on. In the third one, which is called metta or loving kindness, we put effort into creating a particular state of mind, a particular emotion, the emotion of loving kindness. Not loving as in romantic relationship, more like loving as in parent-child, healthy parent-child relationship, I should say. A lot of oxytocin involved. And we train that on various kind of people. People we love, people we are neutral toward, people we dislike, the whole population, ourselves. And this part is the one that I'm most training at the moment as of this recording, because it really helps with compassion. And as an entrepreneur, compassion and empathy are so key. If you show up to a sales call with a lot of love and compassion for the person that's in front of you, even if you don't make the sale, you just want to show up and help that person, that's super powerful, because not many people do that. We tend, maybe that's our nature as humans, we tend to focus on our own personal interest. And then it becomes that you meet a potential prospect and that person focuses on their interest, and you focuses on yours. And if there's a match, there's a sales. If there's no clear match, there's no sales. So for us as entrepreneurs, this third one is very important, because you want to be able to show up with this energy of giving, which will then be received by the other person, who will be like, wow, this is very different with this service provider. Let me see, what is he talking about? And then you have their attention. So it's a differentiator. The way you do the loving kindness meditation is, it took me a while to understand it. I've been practicing it for years, but it took me a while to understand what is in this meditation. There are 3 elements. There is a person that you send a feeling to. There is the feeling, and there is you relaxing in the middle. So the person, the easiest way is to start with a pet or with somebody, with a great friend with who you have no problem about. Don't start with a spouse, don't start with a child, don't start with a family member. Start with somebody who's a little bit more neutral, maybe that you know a little bit less, or a pet, somebody that it's easy to feel unconditional love for. And then you focus on that person and you send them the feeling of love or loving kindness. And you relax while you're doing that. And as you relax, you're going to say some sentences. There are a bunch of sentences you can use. May you be well. May you be healthy. May you have strength. May you be wealthy. You just wish good to that person. And that's it. Those are just the 3 elements. And in my mind, it was always more complicated. And recently it just clicked. I was like, okay, so those are the 3 elements. You pick a person, you say those sentences for that person, and you generate the feeling. And just like at the gym, it takes a while before the feeling shows up. But if you have just a little bit of it, it's enough. So first you do that for somebody who you have genuine affection for, then you move to someone who's you're more neutral toward, and then you can move to yourself, you can move to the whole world, and you can move, and that's very, very important, to people who you have a bad relationship with. Because if you carry a grudge, if you carry some negative feelings towards somebody for a long time, it hurts more you than it hurts the other person. So actually by sending love and kindness to the other person, you're freeing yourself from it, which gives you more energy to focus on your business and on everything that matters in your life. Summary and advantages of this kind of meditation, which is called loving kindness or metta. It helps develop empathy and compassion and love for the people around you. And as entrepreneurs, we can use that in order to to create a difference between us and the other service provider. Because if you come from a genuine place of love for your prospects and clients, they will feel it and you will be rewarded for that. Years later, months later, or 5 minutes later, but you will be rewarded for sure. Talking about experience, it happened to me many, many times that something kind that I did for somebody came back to me, 100-fold, without me having any expectation of it, coming back, and it just came back. So, great to feel empathy and love. The difference is that this time we are creating this feeling, and we create this feeling by having someone that we wish well for, a bunch of sentences that we say for that person that then generates feeling for him or her. And there's a fourth one, the secret one that I teased at the beginning. So it's not really a meditation. It's an application of the first one, the focus meditation, that you do on your discomfort. Remember, meditation number 1 is focusing on the breathing. Every time something else comes up, I gently let it go and I come back to the breathing. The fourth meditation that is called emotional integration or emotional processing is you focusing on the part that you don't want to focus on. And you know which part it is. For me, it's always in a line along the chakras or the principal nervous part of the nervous system. Now, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's in my belly. And you just keep coming back to that place and you put love on it. So you can use the technique number 1 and the technique number 3 in order to send love to the part of you who needs it. And at the same time, you relax your body. For me, this one is the most difficult to do because you literally you put your attention on the part that we spend all our lives avoiding. All our lives, these parts, this unpleasant feeling, this discomfort is the reason why we work too much, drink, play video game, have too much sex, distract ourselves, with whatever, movies, TV, listen to music. We want everything we travel, everything we do in order to escape the reality of right now. So this exercise is pretty difficult. And my clients, I had a client who just hated this, but she also saw the value of it. If you zoom in, if you focus on that discomfort really deeply and send love to it, you're healing it, you're accepting it, you're integrating it. And I don't know how to describe the benefits. For me, it's like a massive energy boost, clarity, creativity. It's just incredible. It's difficult, but it's well worth the effort. That's it, you guys. If you play around with those 4 meditation, the focus meditation where you focus on your breathing, mindfulness meditation where you lower the effort and you look at everything that's going through your experience, loving kindness where you purposely send positive feelings towards people in your life, and emotional integration. If you play around with those 4 at various moments, depending on what you need, I can guarantee you that you will get much more energy, you will get back your focus, and you will be able to live a more present, fulfilling life that will directly impact the growth of your business. So, my question for you, which one of those are you going to try first? Which one of those are you going to try this week? Focus meditation, mindfulness, loving kindness, emotional integration? Are you a hardcore person? You want to try directly emotional integration? Let me know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're on Apple Podcast or Spotify, let me know in the review. I read all of them and I appreciate them a lot. And again, if you want more details on emotional integration and other techniques that will help you have 7 great days per week, go to peacefulproductivity.coach/7 days. You will get the details of what I've just talked about, why it works, how to apply that, and how to get the most benefits of it so that you can grow your business, have more time, spend more quality time with the people that you love, and feel energized through the week. That's it on my side, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your patience. That was the first live but not live episode. I hope, again, let me know if you liked it or if you want me to edit it more. And I wish you a great, great rest of the week because as I'm recording that, it's Monday. And as usual, peace.